Hello all and welcome to Chris's Awareness Knits. Today I am wearing the purple sweater that I have been working on for the last couple of weeks. It's a scrap project and I think it came out amazing. It fits me perfectly. It's just in every way exactly what I wanted it to be. And I'm so happy with how it came out. Some of the other things I've been working on small things because I've been working on so many big projects that I haven't been getting the excitement of having finished a project. So let me show you one of the projects that I finished. And look at my cute little mushroom guy with a mustache. He's a mushy mushroom. He's got a mustache. I think he's super cute. I think he came out super well. I'm really proud of him. It's my first time making a mushroom. I didn't use a pattern, so he's a little wonky, but overall, I think he's kind of cute. So I got my little mushroom. I also tried to make a little bear. I tried to make him a little bit happier. But I feel like his eyes are all wonky. But again, this is my first time trying, and I'm trying without a pattern. So, try to make his eyes a little less wonky. There you go. I wasn't sure if he was a bear or a hamster or what. I just think he came out real cute. Some other smaller objects I've been working on, I made like 50 scrunchies. I've just been going through all my like leftover yarns where I just have a bit, not enough for a real project, but just a bit. And I've been turning them, or eyelash yarns that I'm never going to use for like anything, but would make a super cute scrunchie. So, or like fuzzy ones. So I've made a whole bunch of scrunchies. Probably like a dozen. I also started making some jewelry. I got some earrings I've made. See if I can get them to show up. Some earrings I've made that I think will, sell well if I do a craft fair. I got them all on these little tags so they look professional. And then I was like, you haven't been making so many crocheted objects. I do have one crochet object that I have been making on my Instagram. You can follow along. I go to a coffee shop in Hiroshima and I bring my sweater that I'm working on, and I finish about this much at each coffee shop, and I take a picture. So that's one thing I've been working on. And you can watch at the different coffee shops as my sweater grows, which I think is kind of cool. So there's that. The other finished objects that I have are a couple of washcloths because I had just a little bit of cotton. So I made a couple of washcloths out of my little bit of cotton. I guess I have a little bit extra cotton there. So yeah, those are all the things that I've been working on. All of my whips are exactly the same whips that I had last time because I've been working on small objects because I needed that. I needed some closure. So one of my whips is my blanket for Project Linus, which has not grown that much because I've been working on smaller projects. Another whip is this blanket, which I've been working on for a couple of years, is growing quite a bit. Then another whip that I tore out of storage, basically, is this ripple stitch. I was gonna make it into, like, it's a really pretty ripple stitch out of 100% wool, and I'm going to make it into curtains for my kitchen because they don't insulate here in Japan, and it is cold. I'm so cold. So I made these ripple strip curtains, yarn stitch curtains, which are, to be quite frank, nearly complete, although I don't have the second one right here. So there's these curtains. I think I showed you last time that I made this sweater. I'll show it again. Need to figure out how to connect it at the arm because I don't like the way it connects at the arm. Let's see. My voice probably sounds a little deep, like I got a frog in my throat. That's just the way it goes sometimes, you know? So those are all my finished objects. Those are all my in-progress objects. My whips. Next, I should talk about my plans. So I would like to do a few hats. Probably a few more amigurumi projects because I'm working on my amigurumi skills because I don't really want to sell. But as you can see over there, I have a whole bunch of finished objects ready for sale. I've reorganized. Everything in bags is here, and all my like loose stuff is up here. And then here is all finished objects. Scarves, hats. Maybe I want to start doing a little bit more work with granny squares. Like a large granny square blanket made of multiple granny squares. Like 4 big giant granny squares that are just connected with a big border. I saw another YouTuber was working on that. She mostly does the granny squares. Oh man, what's her name? She's an African American artist. Her YouTube is like, I can't remember. It's like 2 letters, like DK or something like that. But yeah, so she has been pretty influential actually on me. She makes videos about how to make money off your crochet. Let's see if I can find her name real quick. HG. She's great. I totally recommend her. HG Designs. She is a great designer. But she works mostly in granny squares, and so I've been, seeing a lot of things of hers that I think are very beautiful. And I know that granny square blankets go really quick. Because I've done a granny square blanket that fits a double bed before. I think that might be interesting to do another granny square blanket, maybe some lap blankets. I have so much yarn. I need to do some yarn busting things. Like, this was to use up scraps, so I have less scraps. These were to use up the last little bits of cotton from these skeins. I got another little cotton bally thing here that I'm gonna finish up that skein. I'm just trying to you know, work my way through all of this because I'm leaving Japan in 16 months. I need to work through all of that, as well as ignore how dirty my house is. All of that is all yarn. So what am I going to do? I have 16 months to work through all of that yarn. I don't think it's possible, but I've been working on it. I've been plugging away, making scarves, hats. My knitting machine, it's a Centro, has gotten quite the workout. So much so that I broke the handle and had to order a new one. Yeah, it's bad. But, you know, I feel better bringing finished objects to the US than I do yarn. Although now that I've done a little bit of research, I found out that I can rent a shipping container by the square meter and that it's not that expensive. So it might cost me like $300 or $400 to send home all of my yarn and blankets and stuff, which I don't know if I should do that because I'll be moving into my father's house with all of this. And is he going to be okay with that? I'm just going to basically yarn bomb his house. I have enough money to move into my own place, but I'm going to be trying to get a job, a good one with benefits and everything, and then apply for a mortgage. Because while I've been here in Japan, I've been able to save enough money for a down payment on a house. So that's my goal. Maybe I can spend a couple of extra $100 and get this stuff in storage. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I'm still researching and trying to figure out what the best way to get all of this back to the US is. Because I'm not gonna bring like my couches and things like that. I'm gonna try to get rid of them. Although throwing stuff away in Japan is so difficult. It is so difficult. I'm gonna try to sell them on to a recycle shop, probably get a few bucks, and they'll just take it away, which is really what I want because it'll cost me like to throw away this couch is probably gonna cost me like 30-40 bucks. Whereas I could have a recycle shop come to the house and they're like, we'll just take the couch, and I'll be like, okay, bye, thank you. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Now, January is National Homelessness Month. So homelessness in the United States and abroad is a serious issue, especially in our winter months as it gets colder. Which is why I'm trying to focus on warm weather objects. So when I get back to the United States, I can go to a couple of craft fairs, and whatever I don't sell, I can donate. So I'm trying to focus mostly on neutrals. Over there we got some browns, some reds, some yellows, my froggy. So that hopefully that people will be warm. I'll be going back to the United States in April, May. So I don't know how well those items are going to sell, which is why I'm trying to focus on a lot of things that are all weather, like these, the earrings, the washcloths. But really, honestly, I just need to turn all of this yarn into stuff. And that's what I've been working on, just turning yarn into finished objects. Just as many finished objects as possible for as much as possible. Everything that I can do to turn it all into a finished object is what I'm going to do. Yeah. So I don't have any acquisitions because I've been trying to pare down the stash. But kind of wanted to talk about this. So this was my first yarn acquisition. I found it at a recycle shop, and I got this one and the darker one, these two colors, for 20 bucks for both of them. And I was like, this is great. These are high quality wool items. It is men's scrum washable. Got that wool symbol on it, so I know it's real wool, because here in Japan sometimes they say it's wool and it's no. They're 50-gram balls, 100% wool. They smell like wool. But yeah, they've been hanging out in my project bag for a real long time now. I feel like this ripple stitch was literally one of my first projects. And I haven't finished it because I'm not a finisher. Right? I am a finisher now. I need to be a finisher because all of this needs to be turned into objects. Because bringing home full objects versus bringing home yarn is less likely to get me in trouble with my family. Oh yeah, I brought home these like 1,000 balls of yarn versus, oh yeah, I brought home like 100 hats and like a couple hundred scarves and 100 scrunchies or whatever things that I can sell. So yeah. So that's what's going on. And Tokyo is having a handmade fair, but I can't get up to Tokyo anytime soon because it's so far away. And with the coronavirus happening, it's so difficult to get all the way up there. Yeah, I wanted to show off my first acquisitions and one of my first projects that I haven't finished. The next big project that I want to work on is actually a pillow. I have this really, let's see if I can get the color, really soft, like yarn. It's super squish, and I think it would make a really good pillow or something. So I kind of want to make a nice stuffed pillow out of it. It's quite thick, so I think it'll hold the stuffing well, and it's super soft. I think it would just be so cuddly as a pillow. It would probably make a real cuddly hat, a real cuddly scarf or something like that too. But that's okay, because I got a whole bag of it. So I haven't 100% decided what I'm going to do with this, but I would like to make a pillow. There's so much I have to do. It seems never ending. It feels like there's no way I'm going to accomplish this crazy goal in the time that I've allowed myself. But I'm making progress. Like, that row used to be all yarn and now it's all finished objects. You know, I'm rocking along. I got a bunch of finished objects over here that gotta go over there. So I'm just gonna keep rocking. And then when I get back to the States, I'll be able to actually donate these things or start selling them. I am selling a few of my objects on my website, chrissawareness.knits.com. Two S's in Chris's, two S's in awareness, one S in knits. So you could check that out. I also have a blog on that website. So, you know, it would be fun if you could check it out, see what's up. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say today. Since a lot of my yarn is like in this kind of way, or like just like half skeins, and like, because I bought a whole bunch of people's like stash, I just went crazy and bought like 8 or 9 stashes. So a lot of my yarn is unlabeled. And so I'm like, oh, I want to make washcloths. How do I know something is cotton? So I've been doing a lot of burn tests. Ended up burning my finger pretty bad. So now I do my burn tests with like a pair of pliers. Yeah, so that was something interesting that happened to me yesterday. Trying to do burn tests, because I'm not going to make somebody not 100% cotton washcloth and then try to be like, yeah, it's cotton. No, I need to test it. And one of the cottons I tested melted. And I was like, you say you are cotton, sir, but you are not 100% cotton. And I don't know, can you make washcloths out of like 80% cotton? Probably could. Really could. Just, have you ever gotten acrylic wet? It doesn't really work. Wool doesn't work. And like most of my yarn is wool, or says it's wool. So I don't know about that. But I'm gonna keep chugging along, trying to make some stuff, trying to just get all this yarn into finished objects so I can pare down my stash so it won't be so shocking when I move back into my dad's house. So he won't be like, why do you have 1,000 balls of yarn? And me be like, well, turns out I'm a hoarder. I don't think that's gonna go over well. But thank you for coming and talking with me today. Let's try to keep the homeless in our minds and our thoughts and prayers in our minds, and perhaps do something we can to help them. All right. Thank you. And please subscribe and leave a comment and all of that stuff, because I'm just a starting YouTube channel and it really helps out with the algorithm. So thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.